And we about to go live. We about to go live. Only people on YouTube can hear this. Alright. Hello, everybody. We are live. Dan's going to be streaming some audiobook edits, which is going to be super cool. Dan's there. If you can hear him, I think you can hear him.
By cool, Dave means you're going to listen to us talking while in the background you hear more of us talking in an audiobook. It's gonna get very confusing very fast.
Yeah, it's going to be like, well, how do you? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you? You?
Do you?
Ooh. That's the whole thing.
It's going to be really fun, really good time.
And I will be drawing, and occasionally I'll be looking at the chat and answering questions or whatever, just talking about stuff. So let me shut off the background image here, and I'll start doodling some stuff. There we go. There we go. So hello, everybody. Hello.
What's going on, everyone?
Let us be drawn. I haven't drawn in Photoshop in so long. I don't know. The only time I do is when I'm doing like the Steve Lichtman comic stuff now. And I did it for a job just recently. But outside of that, I just feel so not into it. I gotta rediscover the feeling. I gotta get back into it. Because I'm so much faster like traditionally now. It's difficult. Difficult to find my footing.
Footin'.
Footing.
Oh, boy. Let me listen to this, make sure it's the right one.
Of the 13th century.
No, wrong one.
What are you doing?
Trying to do the one with Jerry, because I didn't do that one yet. I thought it was 10, but it's not.
It's not? It might be 9.
It's 11.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have that one done,
You do?
but it's too late right now.
It's okay. I think it's on Dropbox, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, it is.
I'll just download it and put it in. Yeah. If when I start editing, we only have a couple chapters left to do like fixes on because some stuff peaked and we re-recorded it. So we figured we'd take advantage of the extra time while the book is shipping to just make it better. But like, if it starts to sound really confusing and horrible, like with us talking and us talking again, just tell us and I'll stop.
Yeah. I mean, this
People
whole
will-
process can be like crazy tedious.
Yeah, people just kept asking me to stream audiobook stuff. I think just because they wanted like more streams, and like I'm totally fine to do that. I'm just really worried it's going to be like super confusing.
I am going to draw a goblin. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
A goblin?
Goblin's like the default.
I thought you were drawing a Steve.
I was, and then I was like, I can't do it. Just can't do it. It's gotta be a goblin or something.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be a goblin. Alright, so. What did we do? This is 4 tracks. I don't know what you did. Dan's
know,
Dan's extra bits, Dave's parts, and spare parts.
Okay, so spare parts are extra lines, I think, that you had or something. Or
Okay.
I have, I don't know. The ones that are my parts that you're looking at, that's going to
Yeah.
be all the editable stuff.
Alright, I don't know what Dan's extra bits is. I gotta look at that.
I didn't want to delete it because I figured you had it there for a reason.
Probably. Let me see.
Sorry guys, we're working.
Yeah.
Working live. So,
Diablo 3.
Oh, right. Right, okay. Yeah. All the extra video game stuff. I forgot.
yeah, because there's alternate
Uh-huh.
video game stuff.
Makes sense now. All right,
Somebody
let me make sure.
says, "Is this just a messing around stream?" Yeah, pretty much. It's just like free. We're both gonna be working on stuff, and we'll look at the chat occasionally, but for the most part, we're just gonna be talking to each other and
Yeah,
floating through work.
Dave has no idea what his painting is going to turn into. So if you're like watching to see like a start to finish process thing, that's probably not what's going to happen.
No, I have. You guys ever have that feeling where like you melt on a pan like pancake batter? That's how I feel right now.
Yeah,
I feel like soggy batter, like a batter boy.
batter boy. Yeah, this
Get-
is just one of those streams where we didn't want to be alone, so we figured you guys might not want to be alone, so we're all just going to hang out.
Yeah, we just hang out, just be casual, just be real cash.
Keeping it cash.
It's cashmere. Cashmere.
Cash, man.
Probably delete this.
Yes. Alright.
So I've been working on doing my tutorial, which is like, if you ever saw the other tutorials, they're like 5 hours long. It's gonna be the same kind of thing. I spent the past couple days working on that, and just got a little bit more to go, and then that's gonna be online, so should be good. Should be good. But I'm coming down from that. Just been watching the videos export from Premiere, and I don't know if any of you are used to that, but it takes about 1,000 years. So last night I watched that Studio Ghibli movie. Not like one of their movies, but the documentary about Miyazaki. Have you watched that, David?
Oh, yeah, that's a really good one.
Where he's just like, he's just trash and stuff. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I love
So
how
satisfying.
it's
He's just like, I mean, he's like a realist, but he's so jaded on stuff. I love when he talks about, they're like, what do you think's gonna happen to Ghibli? And he's like, it's just gonna fall apart. It's already happening. I was like, yes.
yeah.
Yes. He's so honest. It's like my favorite thing.
Yeah, he's pretty blunt in that.
Yeah, super good. That's a really good documentary. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. You should watch it. There's some really good stuff in it. Cool.
I saw
insight.
that new, what's the name of that new movie they're doing that has like a totally different like animation style?
I don't know. What are we
Can't
talking about?
The other day.
The one about
It's-
the princess or whatever? Where
It
it's
might
like
be.
all sketchy.
No, it's something else that's even more like it's even more different than what they normally do.
Even more different.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Fuck. Oh well, it'll come to me at some point.
You just watch it or something?
I just saw a trailer for it like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Super pumped for whatever they're doing with the new like Nino Kuni game, but otherwise I don't really know what they're doing.
Wrath of the Catboy.
Yeah, Catboy's Curse.
I never beat the first one.
That's so good. I really, really liked what they did with the first one. I just don't know. I didn't know if it sold enough for them to like justify the work they put into it, though.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of those games that like I just kind of start and then I just don't do anything with them. I don't even touch them. I don't go back to them or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know why I ever bought Fallout 4, but I did, and I have not touched it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sitting there under the TV.
Fallout 4 is like, I don't know.
Muddy Sunday.
It's the it's the video game equivalent of those like big tubs of popcorn you get for Christmas. The different flavors, and it's kind of like you can just keep eating till you feel sick or just not even open it. Like I don't know, it's not a bad game, but like it doesn't really have like a purpose. You can just kind of do whatever. It's the same way like we felt about Skyrim when we played it. Like I don't know what to like. The second the beginning thing ends, you can go anywhere and do anything, and I don't feel any like need to play it. You just kind of walk around.
Yeah, like I'm the person that I'd so much rather have a focused thing or just
Yeah,
like game mechanics. I'd rather just play a game with game mechanics than, you know, trudge my way through 1,000 libraries or whatever in that game.
right. Yeah, like I don't know. I like games that have like you want to go forward because of like a reason,
Yeah.
but I don't know. That's just us.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad games, but I'm way more of like a Mario person.
It's not a Bethesda thing either because I've heard everything I've heard says that Doom is probably a game I'd really enjoy.
Yeah, I've been playing, well, I haven't in a while, but
I just haven't had time to play it.
I played it for like an hour.
Yeah,
It was pretty good. It's definitely better than I ever thought it would be. It felt like you remember when we talked about what we would do if we had control over Doom? Because we
yes,
were talking about how bad like the box art looked and stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I had played the multiplayer thing that came out,
right,
and it was just awful.
right,
And I guess some other studio made the multiplayer, but
right.
yeah, like everything that we talked about what we would do if we had control over Doom, it's like they pretty much did like all that stuff. They went back to like what was cool about Doom, like just the energy and like you're in hell and you're just is there's
That's
nothing, no story stuff that you have to pay attention to or anything. You just kind
cool.
of go through it.
Yeah, I want to like. I just haven't had time because we're so busy doing all the Amazon stuff right now, making sure people get their books on time. That
Yeah.
like, I just haven't had time to play anything.
No. This is what happens to people. This
Yeah,
is how like old businessmen become detached from everything,
exactly.
and they start not understanding like why they don't relate to people.
Why and what and how.
Yeah, you just can't participate in the things everybody's participating in, and then inside jokes just go away, and you don't
It's
understand any of
so
them.
sad but true. There's already like Facebook trends in this community that I don't even know what they are. I've completely missed the boat.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I wish I knew what they were, but I'm just missed my chance.
Yeah, we haven't played Overwatch.
Yeah, I'm interested. I've never played any of those arena like shooter games. Like I never played any of the MOBAs either. I never played League or any of that. Or so I really like if I jump into Overwatch, I'm gonna be going in like completely blind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never played them either. I I never understood the appeal, I guess. I think I still come from like that weird Super Nintendo I don't like online multiplayer thing.
Yeah, I even like back in the day, I couldn't get into like Warcraft 2 or StarCraft online, but
What?
I loved the main game.
You really couldn't get into that?
No,
Oh man, that's like the only
no,
thing I
I
got into was Warcraft 2's online.
I played some of Warcraft 2 online for a little while and it was fun, and then I kind of fell out of it. I still regret to this day. I want to just like take 2 weeks off and do this. Like, I never played Diablo 2. It came out when I was like trying to figure out how to like get into college and stuff, and like I did not have the computer that could play it. I didn't have the time to do it. And like looking back on it, like I feel like I would have absolutely loved that game.
Yeah, I when that came out, I got it, but what I did was I went into the code or whatever and I put in some hack stuff for it and
Right.
I ruined my file and then I just never played it again because I was like, oh, okay. I did the same thing with Ultima 9.
I can't believe how serious Blizzard's being about Overwatch. It's really cool. Like, they said they were going to permanently ban people who cheated right off the bat, and they like literally did it.
It's pretty cool.
Like, you're gone. Like, I think they, what did they ban? Like 5,000 people this first week it came out? Like, the
It's
first
like
time.
people who are like putting like game breaking things into it or something like that.
Yeah, like the first time they catch you cheating, you're just gone. Like, zero tolerance policy. I never thought that Blizzard would do something like that because so much of the community loves that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh man. So it looks like
Yes. What?
this one might be around 8 minutes.
Which one?
Jared,
Oh, okay.
just looking at it now.
Yeah, it's about to get audiobook and
It's about to get audiobook noisy in here. I'm so sorry, you guys. So sorry.
Well, you just tell us if it's not anything you're remotely interested
Yeah.
in, and then we'll do something.
Tell us
about
if
it.
you can't handle this, and if you can't, I will just hang up and Dave can be alone forever.
You could just put on headphones or something, right?
No, I can't do that.
Alright.
That's a real easy solution to the problem, but then I would hear 10 million voices and no one else would.
It's true.
Steve
Oh boy. Here we go.
Yeah, get ready for the not fun part.
Steve and his friends were all
Enjoy this audiobook preview.
Steve and his friends were all enjoying themselves one afternoon when suddenly their old friend Jerry came by.
Wow, no breaths in that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You guys are going to really enjoy when I have to go in and edit the breaths out.
Yeah.
Go, Steven! Steven!
Their old friend Jerry came by. Jerry
People want to know if you're under a blanket right now.
No, because I'm not recording. I could be under one, though.
old friend Jerry.
You guys want Dan to be under a blanket?
Their old friend Jerry came by. Jerry was another Jerry came by. Jerry was another monster from deeper in the dungeon, and he had always looked pretty cool.
Oh, boy.
But today,
I'm like glancing at the chat every couple of minutes, so if I miss something someone asks, I'm really sorry.
he looked pretty cool. But today, he looked
Oh, just some context for you guys. If you don't know, this was going to be a surprise, but it's not anymore. There's narration to the book. We've mentioned it a couple times, but not really publicly.
Right.
There's a narrator. His name is Clarence Wetmouth.
Yeah.
And he has his own kind of story arc throughout the whole book. So the actual audiobook has a whole nother book's worth of material in it.
But it's all about the character who's reading the audiobook.
Yeah, it's all about the character interacting with the book itself.
Yeah, so we didn't know that when we put it on the Kickstarter, or we would have said that, but we're going to sell the audiobook separately if anybody wants to get it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Once we figured out that we were just reading the lines from the book, and we were like, this is going to be like 20 minutes long, and it's going to be super boring. Like, this sucks. And then we're like, all right, well, I guess we're going to have to rewrite the entire book like it's a novel, and then read the novel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did.
pretty cool. But today, he looked suspiciously cooler than usual.
By the way, this issue's online, so if you want to look at it while we do this, you'll get an idea what the audiobook's going to be like.
Do you want to do anything like play a little bit of it and then edit it, just so people don't go nuts?
What do you
Or
mean?
no?
Like play a section of it?
Yeah, just so that they know the context. Because
Okay,
I think it's edited together enough where there's not like major gaps or anything.
There's some pretty big gaps, but it's okay. It shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, we'll let you guys listen to it first, and then he'll go through and edit it.
I'll go through
Just
it.
so you don't hear it in pieces. Edit.
Steve and his friends were all enjoying themselves one afternoon when suddenly their old friend Jerry came by. Jerry was another monster from deeper in the dungeon, and he had always looked pretty cool. But today, he looked suspiciously cooler than usual. Imagine a big red demon man, but infinitely more badass than that. Imagine him having two wings, but they aren't even like the same kind of wing. One is like all gnarly and demon-like with bat shapes, and the other's like this white angelic holy thing, like maybe he's some kind of fallen angel or ascended devil or something. It's like if you took Dave Navarro and turned him red with muscles, made him a demon. Ugh, fucking epic. He had these glowing tribal tattoos too, like really badass. Like they might have some kind of special meaning or significance, but probably not. Anyways, he's the kind of thing you'd expect to see in a dark and twisted nightmare, but also a friendly guy. Man, I love sick and twisted shit.
That's the
Okay,
worst.
let's get on with the story.
Alright. Now I edit.
Fucking garbage.
Garbage.
Man, I love sick and twisted shit.
Man, I love sick and twisted shit.
Came by. Jerry was another monster from deeper in the dungeon, and he had always looked pretty cool. But today, he looked suspiciously cooler than usual. Imagine.
Alright.
That
Then
sounded pretty good though.
Yeah, it's pretty
I didn't
funny.
hear any.
No, there's very few, like, when I'm not doing, when the narrator gets really excited, I have to talk way faster and do run-on sentences. We'll be like, and then he went to his bike, and he turned the bike, and like, I'll have to take breaths in the sentence. So the editing is me going in and finding the breaths, because when you hear them, they sound insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember those.
there's a lot of that.
Suspiciously cooler than usual. Imagine a big. Cooler than usual. Imagine a big red demon man, but infinitely more badass than that. And that
Yeah. Welcome to the boredom, everybody.
badass than that. Imagine than that. Imagine him having two wings, but they aren't even like the same kind of wing. One
There's a breath.
wings, but they aren't.
There we go. There's a breath.
I like that breath.
I have to turn it up way too loud for people to hear it, so I'm not gonna.
But they
Oh, was that not the breath? That sound?
The end of the breath was the sound where it goes,
Okay, because that's what I thought I heard.
yeah. I was gonna edit this live on my channel the other day, but we found out very quickly that it was impossible to do it without it echoing 50 million times.
wings, but they aren't.
Sorry for drawing
Wings.
terrible images.
We have no idea how long the audiobooks actually. I haven't added up the times, but like the last like 5 or 6 chapters are all like 15 to 20 minutes long each.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
It's gonna be pretty long. It's gonna be a couple hours at least.
Having two wings, but they aren't even like wings, but they aren't even like the same kind of wing.
Kind of wing. I hate this.
Can I mean, I don't know.
What?
Is
Can you-
Jerry the New York?
Jerry's hey there, Steven.
Okay.
You know, and then I have to take his voice in this and pitch it down so he sounds more like a demon
Right. Okay.
because he's in the trailer.
Right.
One is like
What do you mean by New York? Just like
I thought he had like a New York accent. I couldn't remember.
he does a little bit, yeah. It's not like O'Malley's though.
of wing. One is like a, but they aren't even like the same kind of wing. One,
God, I'm so sorry, everybody.
but they aren't even like the same kind of wing. One is like all gnarly and demon-like with bat shapes, and
Bat shapes. Bat shapes. I hate drifting into the California.
Bad shapes.
Bat shapes. I hate drifting into Keanu Reeves and Dracula.
I don't. I wanted to do that. I tried to do that for the guy um, later on in the book, but I was like, I can't.
It is
so
the
hard.
So.
Demon-like with bad shapes. And the other demon-like with bad shapes. And the demon-like
shapes.
and the other
And the other one.
demon-like with bad shapes. And the other's like this white angelic holy thing. Like
What?
I was gonna save all the times I take a breath and make a bonus track for the audiobook. That's just me going.
Really should.
thing. Like maybe
Just a nice gasp track for all of you.
thing.
Gasp
like
track.
maybe some thing. Like maybe
You ever see something so unbelievable you need a quick gasp? Check out this track.
thing. Like maybe he's some kind of fallen angel or ascended devil or something.
The obvious name of this stream is Every Breath You Take.
There you go. Do you think of that, or was that the chat?
I thought of that.
Oh man,
Drawing a
proud.
chicken, can you see it? Garbage.
You're drawing Ollie.
Not even.
Ollie's not in this issue, is he?
No.
Ben, Brendan, Steve, Jerry, Flay. I think that's it.
Something. It's like bull or something. Ascended devil or something. It's like
It's like. It's like. Go ahead.
it's like it's like it's like it's like devil or something. It's like if you took Dave Navarro and turned him red with muscles, made him a
There's a nice gasp.
The return of the sour belly chicken.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know, I'm just drawing a sweaty bird.
Sour belly chicken sounds like a Mandarin dish. At a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, I want to go to the Chinese restaurant. I'll have sour belly chicken, please.
It sounds like that. That's like every time I go to one and I see strange flavored beef. Why is it called? It's the worst name.
Pork freckles.
Strange flavored beef.
turned him red with muscles, made him and turned him red with muscles, made him a demon. Turned him red with muscles, made him a demon. Ugh, fucking epic.
Sorry, guys.
He had these.
Sorry, everyone.
He had
This is just us streaming
these blow.
regular work.
People asked me to do this, so I'm sorry. If you hate it, just tell us. We'll stop. It's like
He had these glowing tribal tattoos too, like real.
I can't tell if this chicken should have breasts.
what are you talking about? Of course it should.
Alright. Like, not bare breasts, though.
Tribal tattoos too, like
It had feathers to it.
Well, yeah. Make the exposed skin parts kind of scaly like chicken feet.
Yeah, no.
tattoos too,
Alright.
like tattoos too, like really badass, like they meant.
Okay. Have you guys started sending the books? Sorry if it's the 20th time you've got that question.
No, you guys can ask any question.
Yeah.
We don't mind answering stuff like, I've answered the same question probably 400 times on the Kickstarter through the messages. It's totally fine.
Yeah, everything is in the process of shipping now.
Right now, they're on a truck. They are 3 days away from Indianapolis, and then when Amazon gets them, they're going to process them out of their system, which takes up to 72 hours. Because we only have around 7,500 books, it should take less than the full 72, and then once that's done, they're going to start shipping.
Yeah, the whole deal is that we have no control over this aspect.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do now. It's literally between the shippers and Amazon. We can't intervene.
Like the
And he plans to make more Jim Singleman. My roommate and I know a guy exactly like that, and we died reading it.
Feel free to
Uh,
send material and stories.
we have a lot of Jim Singleman stuff.
We got like 40.
badass. Like they made of some kind badass. Like really badass. Like
Editing for time.
badass. Like they made
Yeah, I'm
Bad.
thinking this chicken will look pretty cool if I just go in and get it the right towns.
really badass. Like they made some kind of special meaning or significance, but probably not. Anyways, he's the kind of thing. Not. Anyway, not. Anyways, he's the.
If anyone's wondering, we're only 50 seconds in.
Probably not. Anyways, he's the kind of thing you'd expect. Probably not. Anyways, he's the kind of thing you'd expect to see in a dark and twisted nightmare.
MMOs, I'm MM over them.
It's coming.
Can't wait for that part.
Get on my level. Level 100.
So lame.
So things you guys should know about the narrator. He loves mechanics. He's in a goth band. He loves video games.
Yeah, he's a huge true goth.
He might have
Doom
dated
Slayer.
Pierce in the comic before too. Remains to be seen.
He's pretty cool.
He might know some of the people in the book personally. You'll have to listen to find out.
Twisted nightmare. But also
It's mysterious.
a twisted nightmare. But also. Twisted nightmare. But also a friendly guy. Dark and twisted nightmare. But also a friendly guy.
All right.
70 people in here.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
I can't believe you're listening to this.
At least we have the disclaimer on the screen.
Oh yeah. I didn't even read it.
Yeah, I wanted to put that up there just so we didn't have to answer that question 1,000 times.
That's great.
But also a friendly guy. Man.
Does the narrator play Reaper in Overwatch? I don't
Just
know.
don't watch yet.
I mean, Overwatch might be too mainstream for him.
He likes the classic 60 plus hours Japanese RPGs.
Yeah, he likes the
So-
more
Man.
the RPG experience. He likes the lore. He's a true lore head.
He likes to talk to you about how Persona 4 was actually better than anything you've been playing lately, but people don't appreciate it in the West because they're trash.
But also a friendly guy. Man.
That sounds, was that too long? Is that too long a gap?
But also a friendly guy. Man. I love sick and
That sounds good, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you don't want it to be like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I don't want it to be too fast. It needs, I just never know how long the break should be.
Yeah, it definitely needs the pacing.
Yeah.
And I love sick and twisted shit. And I love sick and twisted shit.
Hate talking seriously about this. There's just something so specific about the timing of these amazing
it's-
jokes.
It's just garbage. It's all garbage.
Sick and twisted
Yeah,
shit.
it's definitely garbage.
Sick and twisted shit. Okay, let's get on with the story.
So if you guys can see on the screen, I am currently in the intro phase to my chicken with breast drawing.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys like wacky shit like that. All about it. Just being sarcastic. Not gonna answer that question, Mirrors. You almost tricked me into bringing that out.
Oh. Yeah, don't answer that question. Ban that guy. Ban him.
Yeah, ban him.
5-minute ban. I gotta take a break for a minute to answer some emails on the Kickstarter because people aren't sure how to find the survey. Kickstarter makes it's really complicated how to update your thing. I don't know why they haven't fixed that.
It seems like a lot of it's pretty complicated and just, I don't know. A lot of the stuff about Kickstarter in general is complicated, where like we have a hard time locating specific people because of how they've designed everything. Boo, says Mirrors. Well, hey, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I'm trying
that plant video.
I'm trying super hard with the Kickstarter. If anyone sent me a message, to reply the second I see that they sent the message. So sometimes I respond like 5 seconds later because like the books are literally like in transit. I don't want people to forget they sent me a message and check later. So
yeah, probably.
Every couple minutes I refresh the Kickstarter page, and yeah, I'm just being like super manic about it.
Every couple minutes since last October.
Yeah, I check it probably, literally, this isn't even a joke, I probably check it 100 times a day. It's like 4 or 5 times an hour.
Yeah. Crushing it with the PR, bro.
Alright, this guy's from Wisconsin, so he should get the book by the end of the month. He's moved.
Jay.
Yeah. If he's in the States, yeah, he'll get it.
Yeah, I have something important to do, Dan. I think it's Jake in the chat asks, I wonder if chicken nipples are hard like their beak. Dude, absolutely.
Yeah, they are.
They're yellow and they're rock hard like beaks. Because chickens definitely have nipples. Milk a chicken. Chicken tits? Yeah, this is what this is. Chicken tits. Trying to bring a new paradigm of design into this. Paradigm. An Oculus shift.
Wow. Wow. Do you think that's going to be what the new Oculus controller's called?
I don't know.
Really hated that. But it's also too good to not use.
Also, Oculus. Shut up. Oculus Drift for a racing game.
I don't want to talk about this on here because I don't want to give the idea away. But we had a great idea for a show. And we joked about how no one would ever do it. And then we found out they made a show that's almost exactly the same last night.
Yeah, they came out this year.
Almost
Son of a bitch. Because we have this really good contact now at this agency that actually makes real shows.
Yeah.
And we're trying to like figure out if we should sell ideas.
Yeah.
And we had one, and somebody made it.
I can't believe it. It was such a bad idea too.
We kept laughing about how bad the idea was. We were like, we could probably do it, but like,
It's good to see that the show had like 1 star though.
Yeah.
At least we were right about the response.
It got funding, but who cares?
Okay, let's get on with the story.
Wow, that's a huge gap. Okay.
Trying to add shading to these breasts. Chicken breasts, 100% whole meat. Whole white meat. Chicken breast. I love. Melvin Chanart says, love chicks with big tits.
I mean, he's a chicken, but I guess it works.
Yeah, I mean, it works. 9 out
For a
of 10.
split second, I thought he was just saying that without the pun. That's a good thing to share on a stream. That's what made me laugh. I thought he was just saying that naturally. Just like, you know what I love?
Just walking into a party with a bunch of people there, just saying that to the first person you see.
I love chicks with big tits.
I mean, I'd kill for a girl like that.
I gotta tell that story.
Let's get on with the story.
If anyone's listening, that wasn't me giggling like a girl. We haven't introduced the Kims in the room yet, so that voice wasn't me or Dave.
No, it wasn't me.
Let's get on with the story.
It was me.
Awesome.
So we were at dinner, and what happened was Dan
Fancy
was looking.
restaurant.
What?
Fancy
Shut up.
restaurant, huge kitchen. Awesome stuff. Go ahead.
All right, so here's what happened. We were all at dinner, and then Dan looked down at where they were cooking the food, and there was this really big grill, and Dan said, "I'd love to have a grill like that."
I said,
No, I'd kill for a grill like that. That's what he
I'd kill
said.
for a grill like that.
And we all heard, "I'd kill for a girl like that." And when you're looking down from a balcony at a girl, and you whisper that to your friends in a serious way, it gives off this really cool serial killer vibe.
They all
And I really like that a lot.
I'd kill for a girl like that.
I'd kill for a girl like that. I'd
There you
cut
go.
her up.
Let's get on with the story.
I'd wear her face around town.
Want to slip it on over mine.
Awesome. Dude.
Sick of my face.
Awesome. Dude.
I can always count on my friends to assume the worst.
Well, I mean, you want the worst, you know? When you hear something like that, you hear what you want.
Oh, of course.
I just wanted you to have said that.
Here we go. Getting into Jerry now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's figure out how low to pitch this voice.
Yeah, you guys can judge this too.
Because he's not in any other issues.
Actually, we'll be super delayed, so.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting pretty close to the end.
Alright. I think it was -10 when I did it for the trailer, but I gotta listen back.
Yeah. Getting.
Oh.
Is that just the breath?
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Pretty close to the end.
Like that.
And if anyone's curious, I found out that a pornographic magazine exists today called Girls and Corpses.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. It's a magazine about naked girls with cadavers. And there you go.
Yeah.
Corpses, corpses.
Getting pretty close to the.
Pretty cool when you're on a Tumblr about mummies, and then that shows up.
What are you doing on a Tumblr about mummies?
I was looking at mummies.
You just felt like it? Why were you doing that?
I was looking for a picture of that King Tut dagger that they found out is like made out of a meteorite, and I was like, I want to see what that looks like, and I clicked on this Tumblr, and then there was Girls and Corpses.
No, I don't know if that's what you were doing, dude.
I was masturbating to girls and corpses.
Yeah,
I'm into dead bodies.
exactly. Man, I'd kill for a girl like that.
Me and Dave saw a dead body once, and I never forgot. It turned me on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw a cold body in the woods.
Yeah.
You never forgot it.
Yeah. Getting pretty close. Yeah. Getting pretty.
You
Yeah.
were like, I like that body, but what would it have been like to take the life?
It would have been like to violate it.
Yeah. Getting pretty close to the end.
Alright,
The
so.
Resh.
Dude. Dude.
Alright, I gotta select this whole thing. And I wanna say it's -10. Let's see.
Yeah, if you guys can look up, I don't know, what was it, Girls and Corpses or something?
What it was called, I sent it to you.
What was it called?
I think
Just-
it was Girls and Corpses.
Oh, I wasn't wrong. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody can look that up. Actually, you can't post links in the chat, forget it.
Shit.
Yeah, getting pretty close to the end.
That's not bad.
Do it again?
Yeah, yeah, getting pretty close to the end.
No, it's not too bad.
I'll go even lower just in case.
Arc Real says, yeah, Girls and Corpses.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's a
no.
go between.
Listen to this.
yeah, getting pretty close to the end.
I don't know, that sounds too much like audio distortion
Yeah.
to me.
That's
It's way
like
too digital.
It's like me wearing a ski mask talking in a documentary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Speaking of which,
So I saw this girl at the restaurant.
if anyone in the chat's never seen Delocated, it's one of the best shows Adult Swim's ever made, and like no one likes it for some
Yeah.
reason.
I really like that show.
It doesn't get any love. It's my favorite thing they've like ever made.
Yeah. Tapping on empty.
Tapping on empty.
yeah, getting pretty close to the end.
Somebody said you sound like Shaq.
It is true. It kind of does sound like shit. I heard they're making Space Jam 2. Is that real?
Yeah, I heard that too. I'm so tired of all this garbage.
Michael Jordan like hasn't been a thing for a long time. How are they going to do that?
He's not in it. It's gonna be other basketball people.
Oh, okay. Bugs Bunny hasn't been a thing in like 10 years. How are they going to do that?
Yeah, I know. It's like nobody has Taz tattoos anymore. Well, they do, but they're the.
Well, yeah, they do because they got him.
But they're like the runoff.
Yeah, they have those forever.
Sewer rats.
To the end.
No offense to anybody with Taz tattoos.
Sorry. Wasn't it weird that all the guys that thought they were badass had Taz tattoos and all the girls that were the girl
Tweety
equivalent
birds.
Tweety birds? What
I
was with
know.
that?
I have no idea. I also didn't understand frosted tips or any of that stuff.
It's true. Frosted
So-
tips.
Who knows? The world is amazing.
Getting pretty close to the end. Jerry said with a
Somebody
Okay.
said Kobe gonna be in it. I mean, if Kobe's in it, it's like he can't act. And be like, it's gonna be like those garbage commercials with celebrities when they talk.
getting pretty close to the end. Jerry said. Getting pretty close to the end. Getting pretty close to the end. Jerry said with a dark and twisted depth, like a
Depth.
Dead.
like a tribal-edged warlock guitar from.
Can you play this part just straight through?
Oh, did we already get past the thing I played before?
I think you did, right?
Oh,
Yeah, because you're already into voices.
Okay, yeah. Sure, yeah, I can play that.
like a tribal like a
Let me just finish this part.
depth like a tribal depth like a tribal-edged warlock guitar from the 90s.
Alright, so that's 1:15. We're at 1 minute 15 seconds, everybody. Welcome.
Out of how many minutes?
Probably 10. Probably 8.
He had these glowing the kind of awesome dude. Yeah, getting pretty close to the end, Jerry said with a dark and twisted depth like a tribal-edged warlock guitar from the 90s. Wow, dude, that's impressive. Is that a devil and an angel wing? Wow. I guess I knew things were getting pretty bad when I woke up. Nice wings.
Out of order.
I had to mute it to like make room for your thing. Oh no, that's fine. I'll just go through it, and it's gonna sound like a mess. I'm sorry.
Oh, whatever.
Wing.
Whoa.
Yeah. I guess I knew things were getting pretty bad when I woke up the other week with
Nice.
glowing tribal tattoos. I gotta say, as great as it is cosmetically, I'm so fucking scared, guys.
Whoa, Jerry. Don't think about it like that. Sure, the future might not look too good right now, but you look great. I gotta say, man, I'm pretty jealous.
Hey, guys, I appreciate it. I really do. But could you give me a minute with Steve? I just have some things I want to say before I'm gone.
I gotta pitch shift that down.
What happened to the proof of heaven stuff?
It's not here. I don't know if you recorded it on another track or not, or I gotta go look and see because that's the first thing on that track.
Oh, it definitely should be there.
I'll take a look. It might not align them up the right way because there's so much silence. But I'll find it.
No, we don't have any tattoos. We do not.
I don't think I'll ever get a tattoo. I'm too scared that will find something wrong with it and get horribly manic about it.
Probably. I don't know. I think it's hard to do that if you hate yourself.
Yeah, that's true too. I have to think I was cool enough to get a tattoo, and I definitely don't.
Yeah, like I couldn't do it for that reason. Because it's just like I don't have that kind of confidence.
Hey, guys, I appreciate it. I really do. But could you give me a minute with Steve? I just have some things I want to say before I'm gone. Hey, guys.
All right.
Hey, guys, I appreciate it. I really do. But could you give me a minute with Steve? I just have some things I want to say before I'm gone.
So stupid.
As the up.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I gotta pull up the script and figure this shit out. Yeah,
I gotta say,
Towards him with a
it's
tortured
okay.
meaning in his eyes. Look at him
Yeah.
and tell me what you.
Okay, Proof of Heaven's here. It's just way ahead.
Hey, this is really proof of heaven. It really makes you wonder.
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
I gotta pull the script up and organize.
Shockingly bad.
Yeah. Those are Dave's voices. We're both in this audiobook, don't worry.
Oh yeah, we are. We are definitely there.
Alright, so I'm looking for.
Are from the 90s.
Alright, that's where I am. Everyone having a good time? Anyone got any questions? You still looking at chat?
Yeah, occasionally. Like this has what I'm doing right now has no purpose, so
Yeah.
I am just here to live.
90s. Wow, dude, that's impressive. Is that a devil and an angel wing? Or from the 90s. Wow, dude.
Alright, so I gotta find one.
Getting pretty
Whoa.
bad.
Alright. Steve's is the woe in the beginning.
Yeah. Is he?
Hmm?
Is he the woe?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Nice Wings is Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Jerry was unusual. Imagine Imagine him having two wings, just like Leonard. know, there's like this white. It's like if you took Dick. He had these glowing, really bad. But probably not. Anyways, to see in a dark. Man, I love sickening. Okay, you know,
Terrible.
awesome. Get on with the story. Awesome, dude. Yeah.
Welcome to regular work, everybody.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, this is just some normal stuff.
Yep.
We're live because people asked to hear the audiobook, and
Let's get on with the story.
there's some redos and things, so that's what this is. Editing everything back.
With the story.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Hey, let's get on with the story.
Whoa.
Awesome.
All right.
Nevek009 asks, how do I get the audiobook?
We don't. Are we putting it on Big Cartel or something else?
It'll be online somewhere. We'll announce when it's available for regular download. We want to make sure that everybody who got it for the Kickstarter can have it who has the book. But yeah, we're probably just going to like find a temporary place to put it up and message everybody who bought it and let them know that it's available if they'd like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that won't be for a little while because we're not entirely sure where it's going to be hosted.
Mm-hmm. Some dogs are yelling outside. Having a great time.
At least it's not a gang of coyotes.
I know. I had coyotes in my front yard last night, making coyote sounds, and it was gross.
Yeah, you went out to scare them off. Drag
Well, hey.
them into the woods.
Hey.
Or grab onto your leg.
Where I went to school, the first time I went to school wasn't for art. I'm guessing you mean art. I went to UMass, University of Massachusetts. I went to the Dartmouth location. It was not great for illustration. Other majors, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I went.
The other school Dan went to was for audio.
Yes, and then I found out that you do not get a job in that field ever, and it was a big scam. It was a big scheme.
Man, this chicken's just coming out so good.
Yeah, so for you.
Thank you. You happy?
That chicken coming out that way. You've earned it, you know?
Yeah, thanks.
Get on with the story.
Whoa.
Awesome, dude.
Whoa, awesome dude. Nice wings.
So I knew things
Wow.
were getting pretty
Alright. Whoa's gone.
bad when I woke up the
Nice
other.
wing.
Alright, there's nice wings.
Awesome, dude. Oh.
Sorry if I miss any questions. I'm, doing that audiobook.
It's okay. Burning. Okay. Burning it up ass. Critters anytime in the future. Yeah, probably. Something like it anyway.
Something like it, yeah. I don't know if we're gonna call it critters
Yeah,
again.
it won't be like critters,
Yeah.
but we'll probably do some stuff like that.
It'll be
But
the
just
exact
waiting.
It'll be the exact same format. It probably just won't be called critters and use a copyrighted theme song.
I don't have everything we ever put out flagged.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
actually never got flagged, so
No, we were in that era before YouTube did everything to shut down everything.
yeah.
Voltron on Netflix. I don't know. From the trailer, it looked like they were doing that 3D that they try to make look 2D, and I hate the way that looks.
Me too.
I probably can't watch it. I'm really pumped they're bringing Voltron back because it's cool, but the reason I thought it was cool was how the animation looked, and I don't know, something about anime that uses a lot of 3D, or stuff that's animated that uses a lot of 3D, where there's a clear difference between the 2D parts and the 3D parts. I can never get into it because it looks so cheap.
Yeah, I really don't like it.
It just looks it just screams budget to me. Oh, we got to do this cheaper.
Well, it's weird how it almost flows at a different frame rate than everything else. It's the animation is kind of looser and it doesn't go, at a high frame rate, and then they do the 3D and it's super smooth.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks bad.
Okay, let's get on with the story.
Whoa.
Awesome, dude.
Dude, nice ones.
How do you get the Steve Lichman comic? Leponzius Big. If you go to stevelichman.com, you can check out the mailing list at the top. You put your email there and we'll let you know when the next Kickstarter is going to start.
Yeah, right now the only way to get book 1 if you missed the first Kickstarter is to get it when book 2 comes out, because we're going to be doing a reprint, second edition of it with book 2 for people that missed it. So if you sign up for the mailing list, there's no spam on the mailing list. The only things we're going to tell people are when the new books are available. So you'll get an email around October that'll say the Kickstarter's live,
Yep.
Awesome, dude.
Hi.
Dude.
Nice.
Dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because we're self-publishing, we have to do everything in batches. It's way too expensive to have something. We don't have anybody that we're printing through. We're doing it all on our own.
Yeah.
So anything that we get, we would have to have got extra books, but the extra books that we do have, they're all review copies. And yeah, we just couldn't have stock. We don't have a place to put it all. We don't really I don't know. We didn't really know exactly how many we'd sell or what the end amount would be, because we had to go through everything else. We had to go through actually printing them all, and
Scared,
it's
guys.
this whole long process.
Yep. So sorry about that. Just deleting this audio. Just delete it.
It's all about the soft brushes. Getting that dumb fake realism.
Fake realism.
I don't know. It's just that kind of 70s airbrushy realism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Trapper Keeper realism.
Yeah, Trapper Keeper realism. It's not fake, it's not Rembrandt either. Hey. Sorry, living in a doghouse.
Question for Dan, mainly about digital art in general. Is life study so important to level up in digital painting? We've made so many progresses thanks to them. Well, it depends what you're trying to level up. A lot of people just use terms like level up and improve in a general way in terms of all your skills. Studying from life will help your realism and your ability to use light and your ability to render surfaces. It won't help you with design, and it won't help you with like composition unless you go out of your way to study in a very compositional way. Um, but yeah, like, you know, it'll help you get better. Studying from life will help you get better at realism because you're copying something that's real and trying to make it look real.
Yeah, you also have to have some kind of focus going into it. You have to like know why you're doing the study.
Yeah, like I never did studies that didn't apply to stuff I was working on for client work and personal work and stuff. Like, don't do pointless studies. Like, if I'm doing something that's armor, I would study like a spoon because it's silver and it reflects light, or like, you know, a little statue I had that was metal, you know, because that would help me render the metal and figure out how it works. Like, don't just do studies that you can't apply to anything. If there's no reason to paint an apple, don't paint an apple. But if you're going to paint some monster that has like cool kind of porous skin and you want something that's reflective, an apple's a great thing to study.
Yeah, I mean, mainly it's just that you want to be able to apply your study so that you actually remember it.
Right.
Because it's really easy to just go off and do studies for no real reason and then kind of forget the lessons you learned.
It's hard to learn stuff in studies because you have to actually think about what you're doing, but it's really easy to just do studies. And a lot of people, unfortunately, get into this rhythm where it's a false sense of improvement because they're pumping out studies at a regular rate. They're just doing tons of studies, and it looks like they're doing a lot of work, but they're not actually learning much because they're not applying that stuff. So don't become one of those people whose portfolio is entirely full of studies because no one cares how good you are at studying when you go to apply for like a job.
Yeah.
They want to see your actual stuff. So don't fall into that mistake of that. It's very satisfying to do a study that looks very photographic and real and put it out and get all the comments and stuff on social media. But that doesn't actually help you when it comes to job time unless you learned something from it.
Yep.
But yeah.
I don't know what just happened in the chat.
I don't either. I can't tell if they're... Do we have to block them, or is this a Twitch thing? I have no idea.
No, those are just, I don't know. We're new to Twitch. We don't really know anything.
Yeah.
Whoa, awesome, dude.
Nice wings.
All right.
Yeah, thank you to everybody for coming here and bearing with us while we do some work.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And thanks for the compliments in the chat. Really appreciate it. Glad the Bogwish tutorial helped. I'm actually putting out another one that's another like 5 or 6 hour tutorial that should be out in a couple days. And I'll come on here and talk about it and I don't know, just promote that it exists. And probably do a painting or something. Probably paint another chicken like this.
There you go.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This is where the editing gets long because I have to ping pong the tracks conversationally between me and Dave.
Mm-hmm. And we both record differently, so it's like
Yeah.
all different audio.
Nice wings.
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty good.
Story.
Whoa.
Awesome, dude.
Nice wings.
Yeah. Getting pretty close to the end.
All right.
Story. Getting pretty close to the end. Jerry said with a dark and twisted depth, like a tribal-edged warlock guitar from the 90s.
All right, that's the next break. It's 1:18 and a half.
I guess I knew
Nice.
things were getting...
This is gone. Gone.
Oh, dude,
Whoa.
that's impressive.
Whoa.
Is that a
Jerry,
devil and an angel wing?
Don't think about it like
Yeah.
that.
All right, don't think about it like that. You look great.
Oh, dude,
Whoa.
I woke
Good
up the
right
other
now.
week.
Do good right now.
Babe,
Look great.
babe,
I gotta say,
What do you think, Bill?
Thanks.
118 and a half.
Visual Jamie, John LaStudio, and Mr. Creep. You guys are all streamers. Sorry, I just don't know anything. I
We're
feel
new.
like old. It's weird.
We're so new here. I'm sorry. I only watch one Twitch channel, like ever. So like I'm still new here. Well, I guess two. I watch Red Letter Media sometimes.
I'm gonna follow you guys so I don't forget to look at your stuff. Follow, follow, follow. And then the rest of you, I refuse to follow you. Because you're not super popular Twitch artists.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Scram.
Warlock guitar from the 90s. Wow,
whoa.
dude.
All right. Dope.
I actually don't even know how following works. I've never followed anybody on here.
Oh, you know.
I did follow, but I don't know what it means. I don't know what's gonna happen
I think when they go live, you just get a notification in your email.
on my phone. My phone's gonna
Yeah.
ring, ling, ling, ling.
Something like that, yeah.
Switch is live. Get on
Someone's
your
twitching.
Twitch stream.
Hey, that guy who likes twitching.
Yeah, this guy's twitching over there.
This guy's twitching around.
Bruh, I love Twitch.
All right.
Yeah, getting pretty close to the end. Jerry said with a duck. Wow, dude.
Whoa.
All right.
Dino Sour asks, think you'll ever do guest artists on the stream at some point? Probably. We want to do like kind of the same kind of stuff we used to do, so I'm sure that eventually we'll do things like that. I mean, whenever we get bored and we want to do other things, we'll probably do that.
You just mean like talking to people?
Yeah, just like other people, like,
Yeah.
you know,
I'll probably do that like this week.
KK.
Yeah, getting.
We'll bring KK out, force him out of the shadows.
Yeah, getting pretty close to the end. Jerry said with a dark and twisted depth, like a tribal-edged warlock.
Cool. That worked out. I didn't think that would work out.
We'll smoke some people out of their holes. Go
There you
smoking
go.
holes.
Yeah, smoking halls.
90s.
Whoa, Jerry. Don't think about it like that. Sure, the future might not look too good right now, but you look great.
All right, and then the mummy is after that.
KK is a cool guy. Caffeine Ninja.
Number one Hawaiian.
Yep, number one Hawaiian.
Number one Hawaiian.
Hawaii 10.0.
Yep. KK is probably one of my favorite humans in the entire world.
My tiki top.
Jealous.
Just that.
What?
It sounds like you're in front of an industrial fan.
I am.
Okay.
You might not
I'm
look
taking
too
off right now. I just decided that this is boring.
I
Shit, 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 shit.
look great. I gotta. Great. Hey.
That's
I
the air conditioner. anybody who's wondering.
You look great. I gotta say, man, I'm pretty jealous.
Alright. Pretty jealous. Wow, dude, that's impressive. Is that a double-handed angel?
Man, this chicken. Ugh. Oh, I love painting it. Help!
Wow, dude, that's impressive.
Somebody! Ow!
You're making Mika bark.
Pretty jealous.
Wow.
Miko should bark. I'm in trouble. Painting a chicken with rockin' breasts.
I'm pretty jealous.
Wow, dude.
Say, man, I'm pretty jealous.
Wow, dude.
Wow, dude.
Pretty jealous.
Wow, dude, that's impressive. Is that a devil and an angel wing?
Okay.
This is coming out so fucking dope. Just kidding. It's weird. I forget how you can just like mindlessly make things look realistic. Just like rendering.
I guess I knew things were getting pretty bad when I woke up the other week with glowing tribal tattoos. I gotta say, as great as it is,
Tribal tattoos.
Zoom in and start doing some detailing.
some scared guys.
Fuck
Alright.
yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Life is the soft round. I am soft and round.
Wow.
And an angel wing? Yeah. Devil. Devil and an angel wing? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How long is it now?
An angel wing?
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be way easier once it's just Steve and him.
Right. Since Acceptable Comics has a lineup of products coming, will you guys be tabling at any cons in the future? Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
We
I'll
will,
be at,
but just not yet.
I'll be at New York Comic Con, but I won't have a table.
Yeah, it won't be like acceptable table.
Yeah, if anyone wants to like meet up or anything or say hi or I don't know, just yeah, you can get at me on Facebook or through the Kickstarter. Yeah, I'll be technically I'll be tabling with Yusha Kasemi, but I probably won't be at the table too much.
Wow, dude, that's impressive. Is that a devil and an angel wing? Yeah.
Alright, I gotta pitch shift all this.
Yeah, we'll be able to announce stuff like that eventually, but we're still like, you know, first time publisher people.
Announce stuff like what?
Cons.
Oh yeah.
We don't have like enough established stuff to have like any real con presence. We're gonna have the Steve books probably eventually, but like not for a while.
Yeah.
Until we can actually afford to have a big stock, you know.
Yeah. I guess I knew things were pretty bad when I woke up the other week with glowing tribal tattoos. I gotta say, as great as it is, impressive. Is impressive. Is that a impressive? Is that a devil and an is that a devil and an angel wing? Yeah.
Is this Angry Birds concept art? Nah, it's just a fat, sad bird.
And an angel.
Dress.
Yeah. I guess I knew things.
Oh, here comes the storm.
Oh, really? I hear it.
Yeah. I guess. Wait. Yeah. I guess.
I hope it takes you away.
Yeah. I guess I knew things were getting pretty bad. I woke up the other week with glowing tribal tattoos. I got. Tattoos. I gotta say, as great as it is cosmetically,
Oh.
Dan?
Yo.
You okay?
You know.
No.
I gotta say, as great as it is cosmetically, I'm so fucking scared, guys. As great as it is cosmetically, I'm so fucking scared, guys.
Alright. So fucking scared, guys. Fade out. Anyone got any questions in the chat that we can talk about so I don't lose my mind?
I can ask you something.
Go ahead. Ask me a question.
Do you think that this is the storm that will finish you?
Are you talking about the storm outside or the storm inside?
Well, I mean, I don't know. When one begins, doesn't the other?
I think the storm outside is gonna hopefully keep raining till it gets high enough to come through my windows and I drown in my apartment. That's what I would like to have.
Yeah.
I'd like that a lot. That'd be great.
When the boat goes underwater and like the windows start to crack from the pressure.
That's what's happening in France right now. If anyone's listening from France, super sorry that everything's flooding unbelievably.
Really? I didn't know that.
They had to take all the stuff out of the first floor of the Louvre and bring it up to the floor because the Seine is about to overflow the streets.
Jeez, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it's like 15 feet higher than it normally is, which is
Wow.
fucking crazy. I looked at photos of like, it's only a couple feet away from pouring over into the street. A bunch of people died in their homes because the flooding just came out of nowhere and they couldn't get out.
Really?
Yeah.
Died now? Like old people or like normal?
And,
like,
They
young
didn't die in
people?
homes in Paris. That was like in the more in the countryside, I think, from the photos and stuff.
I was gonna say that's nuts.
Crazy flooding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, as great as it is cosmetically, I'm so fucking scared, guys.
Okay, so now it's...
For the record, I know old people are normal people.
There you go.
Scratch
Whoa.
that from the record.
We all die someday. Yeah.
I'm so fucking scared, guys. Nailed that someday.
Whoa, man, it's okay. We all die someday. Yeah.
Alright. Oh, what did I just do?
What scratch disc are you using?
Huh?
Scratch disc?
Oh, my original copy of Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, it's all
Really?
scratched up.
Yeah, the load times are terrible.
Mm. Load times.
I'm so fucking scared, guys.
Whoa.
Load times.
Right?
My load times are between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Right around when I wake up.
I start buffering at around 2 p.m. I gotta get the energy back. I get my color wheel pops up at around 2 p.m.
Fucking scared, guys.
Whoa, man.
I got questions, guys. I'm sorry. I'm editing a thing. Dave, what are the questions?
Oh, I don't know. Let me see.
I'm so sorry. I'm missing them.
Fucking
I'm
scared.
I'm
guys.
googling this bird. I don't.
Whoa.
Ty Grenier asks, as somebody still trying to break into the industry, is it worth it to stream, create tutorials for people just starting out? It just depends. I mean, like, if you
It's
find the
definitely
7 secrets of being an artist, then do a tutorial. No, I
It's
mean, like, it
worth-
really doesn't matter. It's just you should do whatever you feel like is going to help you stay
Yeah.
on track. It's like get into a habit of studying and work really hard at that. But like, if streaming helps you stay on top of that, then I would stream. If you're streaming your studies and things, if you feel like it's a distraction, then I wouldn't. Just whatever feels like it's working for you.
I'm so fucking scared, guys.
Whoa, man, it's okay.
I'm so fucking scared, guys.
Whoa, man.
Yeah, I'd say stream no matter what, just to get your name out there and to network. Networking is so much more important than anyone gives it credit for.
Yeah, and by networking we mean make real friends.
Yeah, don't like approach it like a house of cards thing where you think you have to know people just for strictly personal gain reasons. Like you want to make friends, or it kind of sucks to work in. I can't imagine working in this industry and not actually having friends in the industry. It would suck.
Yeah, people treat the whole networking, like quote unquote networking thing way too seriously.
Yeah, people ask me questions, and the way they phrase them sometimes about networking makes me want to like take a shower.
Like they've never talked to another human being before.
So how did you get in good with the guys at blah blah to do an interview? And it's like, go away,
Yeah, get in good.
get out of here. Like,
I'm a human being, gonna make friends.
I'm so fucking scared, guys.
Whoa, man, it's
okay.
I'm so fucking scared, guys.
Whoa, man, it's okay.
Yeah, don't have targeted friendships. That's really weird.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's creepy.
Whoa, man, it's okay. We all die someday.
That's a little too long.
It's okay. We
Dan, can you tell the story of the bag of money?
Bag of money. Do they mean the pocketbook I found when I was 6, full of drugs and cash?
Is that? I don't even know that story off the top of my head.
I can't think of unless I'm forgetting something. I don't remember a bag of money. I found like a shoulder bag pocketbook thing full of it was opium. It was really weird. It was tons of money and a bunch of opium.
Whoa, man,
That's
it's
pretty
okay. We all die.
I was like 6 though, so I just wanted to keep the money.
So
Whoa.
he did all of the opium.
Stupid parents gave it to the fucking police.
Whoa, man, it's okay. We all die someday. Whoa, man, it's okay. We all die someday.
All right, we all die someday.
Dinosaur asks, hey Dan and Dave, how can I get some hard critique of my work from you guys on stream, if at all? In the future we'll probably do some of those streams, but for now we're just kind of getting back into it.
If you follow us on Twitter or you're friends with us on Facebook, when we start doing the like paint over and discussion streams about people's work, probably in like, I don't know, I'm gonna guess probably in 2 weeks once most of the Amazon stuff is over. You can just submit it there, and we'll be happy to do it.
Yeah.
Whoa, man, it's okay. We all die someday.
Okay, we all die someday, and then I think it's the mummy.
Dinosaur asks, Dave, do you have a sketchbook you might sell along the same line that Kim Jong-gi has? No, probably not. I don't think my stuff's as cool.
Yeah, I like to. Yeah, I
Really do.
like.
But could you give me a minute with Steve? I just have some things I want to say before I'm gone.
Yeah, plus like, I don't know, you do a lot of watercolor stuff now, but you're not really like keeping a sketchbook.
No, I don't have a sketchbook. I've never really had a sketchbook. I don't like them.
Yeah.
We all die someday.
I don't know how people draw with a sketchbook. Like literally, when have a literal sketchbook, like the bound pages. I cannot do that. I have to have like individual pages taped down to my desk. And I also don't go anywhere where a sketchbook would make sense. Like if I'm outside,
Yeah.
I do not have a sketchbook with me.
Yeah. That's a good point. I can never like I've tried so many times where I'm like, I'm gonna go to this place and draw stuff from life, and it never, ever, ever works.
No, I mean I think we talk about that a lot, but like I just
Yeah.
can't. If like I'm somewhere, I am in that place, and I'm not in
Yeah.
my sketchbook.
Exactly. I want to, if it's something cool, I want to just look at it and maybe take a million photos, but I don't know. I can't get into drawing it.
Yeah. We all die someday. Yeah. I like to think that after you die,
Here I go. I'm off again.
yeah, I like to think that after you die, it's a lot like.
Hey guys, I appreciate.
Yeah, I like to think that after you die, it's a lot like.
Sorry, everybody, for the fact that this is the noisiest, most confusing screen we've ever done. I've got a storm here. Dave's got an air conditioner thing. I'm editing audio. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Painted chicken with breast.
It's a mess.
Mm-mm-mm. Dorothy Rudolph says, "What?
Hey, Dorothy.
Oh, what's wrong with you, Dan?
I know Dorothy. She's in here a lot.
Kill you."
Just trying to be nice.
Well, it's
You're-
unappreciated by people like me.
You walk into a diner and there's a regular. The person at the counter goes, "Hey, what's up, Joe? You having the usual?" It's the nice thing to do. Continue.
Hope the storm does take you. Says, "I'm still horrible at staying active on social media. Last week I heard one of the Stories Unbound podcasts from Chris Oatley's website, and they talked about running a successful Kickstarter. That children's book artist mentioned that one needs about 500 real fans to run a successful Kickstarter for a children's book, and that would equal to having about 10,000 followers on social media. That sounded like such an unreachable goal." I mean, that's just a number to throw out there as an example, but
Right.
it's not like there's no definitive number. Like we don't have 10,000 followers for Steve. We just put it up on Imager and Reddit and
That's
stuff.
like-
And
That's the thing I always hate about people that give advice like that, where they're like, I know exactly what I'm talking about, and this is what you need to do. Like words like need and like necessity and those kinds of things. Never listen to that, because there's
No.
so many factors with running a Kickstarter that those people never talk about. They never talk about the fact that you can get Kickstarter to choose it as like a projects we love and get it featured on the front.
yeah.
They never talk about sharing it on like websites. Be like, hey, this thing's live. You know, like if I was going to do a children's book thing, I'd go find forums and sites that would want to promote it.
Yeah.
They never talk about doing tie-ins with people. Like, what are some other authors that might want to help sponsor your thing and get it off the ground? Contacting other Kickstarters that did similar things to tweet all the people that back their thing and say, look at this cool new project we like. Like, they're just talking about it in terms like these really closed terms of like you just need a number, and if you hit that number you're okay, and there's so many other ways to promote a thing besides that.
Dan, we live in a vacuum and no one can help us.
You're right. I'm sorry. Art should
No.
only be made for other artists. What am I talking about?
The whole thing with that is that you just like you can't listen to it. I mean, we sold, like 7,000 books, and we just kind of started the comic book and put it out there, and it was like nobody knew about it. We weren't established. We didn't have 10,000 established fans. We just we made the front page of
Yeah.
Imager one day, and then we were on Reddit, and we got I don't know if we got on the front page. We were on the comics Reddit, and we were like really high up on there, and everybody was looking at it, and it just happened through word of mouth. Like randomly, people were talking about it. It's
Yeah.
like really all you need is just a couple people to feature you. And one of the big bumps we had was we sent the book off to Kotaku, and we took it off to IO9, and we asked them if they'd be cool with featuring it, and they liked it, so they put it up, and that got us a good amount of people supporting the book. You know, we can actually look at those numbers through the Kickstarter, and when we looked at the numbers, we were like, oh, cool, that actually did a lot for us. And stuff like that, it's like, that's on you to do. You have control over that. The way this person's talking about it, at least just from what you're saying, is that you don't have control, that you don't have any influence on how much you sell. I mean, really, it's all about you. Like, you have to dive in and be the reason why it succeeds. You have to go out of your way to share it on all these places. Already having 10,000 followers, it's like, sure, you could, you know, obviously you could leverage that. But, you know, even for us right now, our Steve Lichman page has about 5,000 something people that liked it. Our mailing list is about 3,000 people or something like that.
Sure.
And that's our full kind of reach. And then we have our Kickstarter backers who already backed us, and people who bought the thing on PayPal. But like, yeah, I mean, that was just pretty much us getting people to like do something. Like, we didn't already have that before we did the Kickstarter.
Yeah. But this is the thing, Dorothy, that you're saying. That's the bubble that the art world gets into.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to stop thinking that way, because you said, though people knew you as a former Magic the Gathering artist and for Ninja Turtle, Paint Overs, and Crimson Dagger stuff, the only people that care about those three things are other artists.
Yeah.
No one else in the world knows who Dave is for any of that, because they don't know who Dave is at all.
Yeah,
So
nobody cares that I exist. It's like,
The
there are niche groups, but that's it.
Yeah, the percentage of people that bought the book because they know who either of us are is under 5%. It didn't affect the Kickstarter in any huge way. We're super thankful to everybody that did, obviously, but like, the art world bubble is so tiny that if you just market to that and you count on that, the percentage of people that are willing to buy your thing in that community isn't enough to get a project off the ground unless it's designed for artists in mind. A good example of that is Jean-Baptiste Monge is doing a Kickstarter right now for his Celtic Fairies book, and like, this is another way to think about running a Kickstarter that a lot of people don't think about. He priced his book as a premium and bumped all the costs up so high that it automatically meant he was going to sell less books, but the books that he did sell gave him such a return that he knew he would be okay. So he's got less than 1,000 backers. And of those backers, he's probably only selling a couple hundred books, because you can't even get the book unless you're willing to pay $110. It's $80 for the book domestic with $30 shipping.
And just, here's a sample of my tutorial. I actually talk about this stuff
Exactly.
a lot. But, okay, in the tutorial I was saying that it's like if you were a baker and the only person you sold bread to was another baker. That
Right.
person wants to be a successful baker selling bread. And
Right.
you shouldn't target only other bakers. You shouldn't do that. It doesn't make any sense. And that's the same thing with artists. It's like, we all want to make it doing something. And I'm sure some of them will buy it. Some of them will be a part of your Kickstarter. People who like your work, they will continue to support you. But it's very small. And a lot of people, you know, they're trying to do the same thing you're doing. And as much as you want to believe that everybody's going to support you from that group, I mean, the reality of it is that a lot of people that were, you know, even like really close to us, it's like, we don't say, we're not like, oh, you should have supported, but like, they didn't have any interest in it, and that's perfectly okay. It's like, it's a comic book, and it's like, it's not for other artists necessarily, and it's just a thing full of content and stuff that we like. But we didn't get support from them. We got support from other places everywhere else on the internet.
Right.
And
So this is the
you have
thing
to
in
like
terms of-
go after people that aren't in your immediate group, because those are the people that want stuff like that.
Right. So that's what we're talking about in terms of, there's two ways to view a thing. You can play it strictly to your fans, or you can play it and cast a wider net and try to get more people involved. Like, the Jean Baptiste thing, he's counting on his fans. He knows he's established. He knows that people that like him will buy this book, and he knows that he's been around long enough and he has a big enough fan base that he will get it funded. So he can price his book at $110, the minimum ability to get. Like, that's the lowest cost for someone who wants it, and he'll be able to sell it. Someone who isn't as established as him, that doesn't have the years of portfolio, isn't going to be able to do that. And that's the thing, like, there's so many other like, people love to give these like really kind of buzzword advice things on how to do this, how to do the top 10 ways to, like, you can't, it's so tempting to listen to that stuff because it seems helpful and it gives you that satisfaction feeling of like, I know how to do this and I'm inspired, and it's like that quick jolt of electricity that a lot of people need to get through the day. But when you
that
really
ain't business.
yeah, like when you really look at the realities of managing a project, there's so many ways to get it off the ground and so many ways to build a fan base and so many ways to do it that those one size fits all advice things never apply in any kind of realistic way. Like, yes, the more fans you have going into a thing, the better, but that's not even 10% of what's going to make your project successful or not.
Yeah, if somebody tells you that the only way to become a good artist is to get past the 10,000 bad drawings, it's like, I
And
mean,
some
that
people
sounds pretty good, but
some
it's not
people
true.
will, yeah, some people will actually listen to that. I'm not saying everybody, but some people will listen to that and go, okay, well, I've done my 9,000 bad drawings, only 1,000 more to go before I'm good. Like, it's a useless thing. It's just a buzzy saying. It
Yeah,
sounds, it's a good thing to reshare on Facebook so people believe it. Like, that's catchy. It must be true. Like, it's not true.
yeah. I mean, it's the whole thing is just people trying to get you to follow them and listen to them.
So, in terms of marketing to the art bubble, like, only marketing to the art community and only promoting by going to other artists who have the amount of crossover in your audience and another artist in the community's audience is probably above 50%. So you're remarketing to the same people every time you do that, which means you're not growing. So, like, for example, let's say there's 6,000 artists in the world. That's being incredibly generous, that work in the same industry that you're working in. Let's say that you do concept art or illustration. There's probably about 6,000 artists in the world that are names that people would, just people working, doing any kind of job. There's probably only a few thousand at any given point in time. And even that's, yeah, probably high. So let's say right off the bat, you do your project. Because you're an artist doing a project, you have a style because you're an artist. Automatically, half the people looking at your project won't be into the style because that's the nature of the art world. People do all different things all over the map. So automatically, you're down from 6,000 to like 3,000. Then you got to go into, well, what is the project? Is it a fairy tale book? Is it an art book? Is it whatever? And no matter what you choose, that's going to cut the audience in half again, because high realism concept art people are less likely to buy a book that's more childish fairy tale. Childish fairy tale people are less likely to buy a book that's realistic concept art. So now you're down to 1,500. Then you go into all this other stuff, all these other factors, and suddenly that pool of what you think is 6,000 people ends up being like less than 500. And then after you do all that math, you have to go on how many of them can afford to buy a book and actually want to buy the book. So it counts for something, but it doesn't count for much, is basically what I'm saying, because you're marketing to people that are trying to do the same thing you're doing. So you're going to get less of a return, if that makes sense.
You also have to think about in terms of like, okay, if you go and like pitch a movie like Gravity or something to a group of people who work at NASA, they're likely to focus on the wrong things. They're likely to go, oh, that's not how space works. And that's like the problem with marketing to artists, is that they will definitely like focus in on different things than you intend for them to. They don't look at things as just a flat out property. They won't like look at it as like, oh, like on Steve, some of them might like the jokes, maybe, I don't know, but if they don't, then it's like they're gonna focus on like the artwork or whatever else, whatever they're already doing, and that
Right.
can be the wrong thing. So yeah, I mean, just know the perception you're gonna have from those people too. Like,
Right.
people, like, think about people who want you to draw their tattoo. They want you to draw their tattoo because they can't draw their tattoo.
Hmm.
It's like other artists aren't asking you to draw their tattoos. You know what I mean? It's like you need to target people that want artwork, that want these things, that want these escapes, that want your property. People, not people who are already doing that.
And that's the other thing is like another downside of that, those easy buzzword numbers, like you need 1,000 people, you need 500 true fans, whatever it is. For something like Kickstarter or Patreon, it's not just about the number, it's about the price. Because again, just to use Jean Baptiste thing as an example, there are way fewer people willing to pay $110 than there are that are willing to pay 20. So if you've got 500 fans and your book's $80, you might get 50 of those people to pay that. But if your book's $20, you might get 400 of those people to pay that. It's not just about if they like you and they like the book you're doing. It's about how you market it, how you price it, how you package it, how you ship it. Like so many other factors that no one ever talks about. They just look at the number. How many followers do you have? How many likes on Facebook do you have? How many shares did your image get? Like that stuff's good, but it's not a realistic indicator of how well you're going to do. I'm supposed to be editing an audiobook.
Yeah, what the hell?
Or you were
I got off on that tangent and I couldn't edit and talk about it at the same time. It was too much.
that didn't hurt. That didn't hurt, did it?
And again, we're just trying to help. We're not trying to shit on people that give that kind of advice. It's just like, it's a lot harder than people want it to sound, because when you make it sound easy, people are more likely to share your inspiring advice.
Yeah, I mean, you want to
It's like
be
it's
realistic and know what you're getting yourself into, because, you know, that's just not how things work.
yeah.
That didn't hurt, did it?
6 Foot Ewok asks, now that the first Steve Lichtman book is done, what are the most important lessons you'd pass along for someone starting their first comic book? That's a good question.
Don't take it too seriously in the beginning.
Yeah.
Give it room to grow, and don't be afraid of changing things.
Yeah, I would say map out your script even if you don't have everything written out. Like, just do kind of like benchmarks where you know where it's going. Like, you have the overall arc done,
Hmm.
and just so that you have targets, you know where you're going, so you can stay under control as you go through it. You know, your book can easily turn into like 1,000,000 pages if you're not careful. You know, you can go down so many rabbit holes, but you need to allow yourself time to go down rabbit holes. Like, give yourself a writing period where all you do is follow down all of these things. Like, you just go, okay, this is a new idea, now I'm going to run down that path and see where it leads. And
Right.
just let yourself find better things. Like, if you keep feeling inspiration, then keep digging, because your first idea is probably not great. Obviously, you don't want to do that forever, but just give yourself some time to kind of like find the story, like feel the pace of it. And it's if it's your first book, then I would say you don't have to worry so much. It's like more important that you finish. It's more important that you do something, get all the way through it, and then once you're like actively working out the book, you'll start to learn all the lessons that you would ever, you know, you start to learn all the lessons that you would ever really like hope to know before you had gotten started
Hmm.
as you go. I mean, there's really like nothing that can prepare you for it. I would say that if you know that your book is going to be a certain way, like you know that you want to have a certain kind of look to it, get that down ahead of time. The cool thing with Steve is that we're able to kind of evolve the style as it goes, because it's like a stupid book in and of itself. It's like a joke book, you know. So
Right.
in that way, the style can shift and change a little bit. But if it's consistently like a story, like we talked about before, Dan was saying, I was like, if it's like a movie, if it's kind of like that kind of feel, you don't want to change the look of it as you go. Or maybe you do. You could do some short story kind of feel to it or something like that, where it's clipping scenes that are in different styles. Like whatever you want, but in general, if you want to get down a visual style for the whole thing, you want it to be consistent. I would try and nail that before you get started. Um, get a process for doing the pages. Understand like page composition and make sure that you're sketching everything out and pace your pages out. Like don't just run towards the action. Like understand that the spaces between things that are happening are as important or if not more important to what the main part of the story is, like where you're leading to. Like we do just jokes pretty much, so like timing on jokes is important, so we'll work around that kind of thing. And yeah, you just want to make sure that you have some pace, like see how people are reading it and kind of like map out your scripts that way. You want to do thumbnails? I do of the pages. I'll divide a piece of paper up. I'll do the little measurements to shrink down each page, and I'll put like 20 pages on a sheet, and I will just sketch everything so that I can see how it's going to look visually when you go through the whole book. And then I'll upload all of those into Photoshop, scan everything in, and then I'll blow them up to the actual page size. I'll sketch over those, and then after I do that, I'll lay in all the text bubbles. And if you want to do something like a custom font, I would suggest that you get that out of the way right in the beginning, because that is a huge pain in the ass. I turned my handwriting into a font for the Steve Lichman books. So if you see the screen right here and you look at the scrolling text and everything, that's the font I made. That takes a little bit of time, and you should look up some tutorials for that. But yeah, I lay in my word bubbles after doing little sketches over my thumbnails in Photoshop, and then I drop in the panels for the pages. And from that point, I just kind of do the final lines and then pass it off to Dan for the fills of the colors, and then he sends it back to me, and I do shadows, and that's pretty much it. That's what we do for the whole thing. But I would just say planning ahead is the most important part of doing a comic, because you don't want to be like halfway through and then realize that it's going to take you 150 more pages to wrap up the storyline when you didn't really plan for that. Just have a general idea after having done a couple like sample scripts or something of what you think it's going to be. Like if you do a few pages, you'll get the gist of it. You'll go like, okay, I can eyeball this script, and I know just by how we write and how it's structured that this one's probably going to be a 6-page comic, or this one's going to be a 10-page or 14-page comic. But that being said, none of this will be cemented for you until you actually do the project. So
XAC Beef asked if we recommend always writing a script for a comic. Absolutely not. It depends on what the comic is. If it's really narrative, a script can help, but like I love Mobius, and he definitely didn't write scripts that were like a pterodactyl with a man with a phallic hat flies over a mountain, the mountain becomes giant and grabs the pterodactyl. He just drew it. It depends on what your comic is. Like Jim Davis probably didn't write scripts for Garfield because they would have been a paragraph long. He probably just drew 3 panels and plugged in the stuff, Like it entirely depends on the project and who you are and if you think writing a script is helpful.
Yeah, I think like it's kind of all up to you and what you enjoy, because like I was watching the Miyazaki documentary last night, and even when they're doing their movies for Studio Ghibli, he just does the storyboards first before there's even a script.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and then they kind of figure out what the movie is. Like that's so insane. But like I could never do that. But like everybody has their own way of working, and you just gotta find what works for you. But we like writing scripts. It's just something that we enjoy. It's like that's the best part for us. Like we have the most fun writing scripts. But that's just us.
Yeah. I'm at a point in this where I can't edit it and answer questions, so I'm gonna take a break and just stream with you.
Sure.
There's too many live tracks now. It's like 5 I have to jump between, so it's too complicated. You're not even painting, are you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
I
can't
mean, I'm
see.
going back and forth. There's a huge lag on the screen.
Okay, that's probably why. At what point do you do what you love versus trying to appease an audience? All my family hates the monsters and fantasy stuff I work on, but absolutely love my reference pieces. I feel defeated when I paint for others, but it's the same. Well, that's the thing is, no matter what you end up, you should paint what you want to do, what's fun. Basically, whatever you do professionally should be what's fun for you and what's inspiring. But you have to understand that no matter what you choose to do as an artist, tons of people will hate it because it's art. In the
Yeah.
same way that if you make a statement, tons of people will tell you you're wrong, even if you think you're right. It just comes with the territory. Some people just don't like monsters.
Yeah, people say all kinds of crazy shit all
Yeah.
day, every day. It's like, you don't have to agree with them, you know?
Tons of
Like,
people got mad when we started doing the Steve Lichman comics because
yeah.
they were like, Dave can paint better than that. Why does it look so shitty? Dave should be doing a serious comic. This is holding him back. Like, we got tons of comments like that. People told me I was giving up on a career that I was starting. Like, dude, you just started working on Transformers. Why would you turn into a shitty comic? And it's like, do you not understand that there's no wrong way to do a thing? Like, if it's fun and you're enjoying it and it finds an audience, that you don't have to listen to everybody. That's so dumb. It's like you don't
Well,
want to be like the Chinese food buffet of art where you have tons of different things that are all bad. Like, do the thing you like. Like, don't try to appease everybody because then you're just gonna have tons of mediocre art that you don't want to do.
yeah, I mean, do it for yourself, and if anybody says that it's shitty or whatever, it's like, who cares? Like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but if it's what you enjoy, it's like, who gives a shit? Like, whether it works or not, that'll kind of dictate whether or not you feel it's worth it, maybe. I don't know. But
Right.
when other people sit there and they judge you for it, it's like, you can't listen to that. You can't let that be the reason why you don't do things you want to do with your life. So many people have told me that stuff that we do is stupid, or, like, just that's a waste of time. And I don't know. I've never really listened to them because it's just, I don't know. It's really lame how people try and just like intimidate other people and control people. Like, everybody just resists change so much. Whenever
Yeah.
anything's a little bit different, it's like, what are you doing? Well, something else, like it's just the way that it is. Like, I'm not a machine. I can't do the same thing forever. I don't just enjoy doing magic cards. Like, it's not
Yeah.
my whole life. That's not my identity.
It's like Steven Spielberg. He can make E.T. and Jaws, and they're both good. He doesn't need to just make Jaws movies forever.
No, I want more Jaws. Only Jaws. I want
Like,
Jaws the ride.
plus it's so dumb. Like if your family hates the monsters and fantasy stuff you work on, that's so dumb. Just flip it around. Like, if they hate the stuff you're doing, just be like, you know what, Mom, I hate it when you make lasagna too. Really hate that one thing you do, even though you love it. Just Dad, I hate it when you mow the lawn. I really hate it. It's the dumbest thing. Like, if you're having fun, why would your family do that? Like, just, I don't know.
Don't get vengeance. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, don't get vengeance. So don't tear your family apart. Don't listen to me. The kingdom of
Do what my dad did. When my dad, whenever my mom was crazy, he'd go, Dave, don't lower yourself to her level. And I go, Dad, I love the way you hate her.
Well, I meant it in a joking way. Like, I'm assuming his family doesn't hate the monsters he works on. I'm assuming they're not like concerned about it in a real way. They're probably just like, when you did that reference painting of the cup, it was so nice. Why
Yeah,
do you-"
right. They walk in the room and they go, Marty, what is that, a goblin? Are you a loser?
Exactly.
You go work at Burger King. I'll kill you.
No son of mine's gonna paint a goblin. Take the computer away. Take it away.
Marty, that goblin. Smacking his door. What are you doing in there? You painting a troll? You'll never make money painting trolls.
Grandfather was a troll painter, and look what happened to him.
He's dead. Sure. He was old.
I'd love it if they were actually like mad, like in a real way. I'd want to watch that.
Dylan, what is this? Oh,
Maybe it's like
sorcerer.
coming out. Maybe it's like coming out of the closet where you're like, I like painting dragons. And then they start crying.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
my God.
I knew this day was coming.
I nerd. Well, my mom used to be like, you should really paint pictures of Jesus and only pictures of Jesus. And I was like, nah, dog. That's garbage. Not gonna do that.
You get Jesus though.
I mean, I could, but that's like all she wanted. That's the only value she saw in artwork, was if it was about religious stuff.
Well, to be fair, there is a lot of value in religious art.
Yeah, there is.
Cash value.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kincaid
Yeah.
and how he used Christianity to become a millionaire.
I mean, if you don't care how you feel deep down, then I would say do it.
If everyone hates the art you like doing, then start meeting new people that aren't those people, I guess.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I don't know. Find other artists that do the stuff you like and make friends with them. That's what we were talking about earlier. We should have friendships that actually matter to you in a personal way.
Yeah, just hang out with cool dudes.
If you like doing pinup art, go to a Comic-Con and meet other people that do pinup art and talk to them and start making a new network of people that are more supportive. Tons of people love that style. So many people love it.
Do you see what I'm drawing on the screen right now? Do you think anybody likes this? The answer is no.
Exactly.
The answer is no. If I showed my family this and I was like, yo, check this out, money, they'd be like, mm-mm. Anything else. Anything else. And I'd be like, nah, this is what I love. Nope. No, that's not true. But, yeah, what are you going to do? You can't control other people. Can't make other people like what you do.
Someone speaking in a language I don't understand. Let's see. Mi estoy partiendo la pala. I'm going to assume pala is chicken and estoy is something like estrogen, female chicken.
Yeah. Party the chicken.
There you go. Kincaid rant, please? No. If anyone wants to know what I'm talking about with Kincaid, there's a great podcast called The Dollop. Go listen to their Thomas Kincaid episode. It's unbelievable. I knew who Kincaid, everyone knows who Kincaid is when they see one of his paintings, because he's the most recognizable artist in America for some, he's just marketed like crazy. The true story of how he became what he is and how he ended up is unbelievable. So dark. So dark. And if anyone likes James Gurney listening to this, because I saw his name mentioned a few times, they were roommates in college. And there's a section in there about the stuff they did when they were roommates. It's really... Thomas Kincaid's a crazy story.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk all the Spanish I know while I paint.
It's going to get racist very quick.
Yeah. I can't do that. I can't do that. I never took Spanish. I took French.
There you go.
You'd be like, well, why? French are never going to take over the world. I know. I don't know why I ever took it.
I think we both took the language class our friends were in.
No,
I
didn't.
That was like how you chose electives back then.
Nobody was in my class.
Really?
Nobody. Well, maybe the first year I failed, so probably somebody was in the first one.
I only
The
chose
second
French.
time I took it, I was in the grade below.
I only chose French because Dave Collins was in it. That was like how I made my choice. I was like, all right, at least I
Je
can
ne
have fun.
sais pas. Nothing.
Collins, dick. All right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, John, I'm not even just talking in terms of the sketches. Like, yes, they've gotten better as artists. I'm talking about as human beings. Thomas Kincaid is fascinatingly insane. The stuff he did and got away with, and like the marketing things he pulled, and like the basically fraud allegedly he committed, insane. He's the guy that came up with the method of doing a painting and printing it out on canvas and stretching it to look like it's an original. And then he had a factory of people with paintbrushes go in and add little strokes on top in random spots, color matching it to make each one look like an original. So they weren't just printed and stretched on canvas. If you looked at it close up, you could see the brushstrokes. Hired a factory of people to do that, thousands of them, and then signed each of them himself and sold them as originals for thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a piece. He's the guy that came up with that system of making fake, mass-produced originals.
Tons of people do that.
They do it now.
Yeah.
He was
I
the
know,
first.
but I'm saying, like, since he did it.
Yeah. And that's one of many scams he came up with to make more money.
Ty Grenier asks, you guys have known each other since what? High school? Earlier? High school. Well, middle school? Middle school, I guess.
Sure.
Like the beginning of it. I mean, like the end of middle school, beginning of high school is when we first started kind of talking.
Right.
Yeah, we stayed up all night on the phone talking about Suikoden 2. I remember
We
it.
actually did. Yeah, Dave wasn't sure where to find Mazis, and I said, you gotta go back to the Cave of Wind after you get the Star Dragon Sword, dude. Have a level 4 castle, go back.
And I was like, wow, Dan. Not a good start.
That was actually a misdirection. That's how you get Crowley in Suikoden 1, who's the opponent of Mazis, his archenemy. You get Mazis in the caves where Necklord was.
Dan, I don't want to lose any more subs.
If you go back to the Cave of Wind in Suikoden 2,
No!
you're not going to find Mazis, you're going to find Persmerga.
People are going to stop watching it. Talking about Pestmerga.
Persmerga is where
Muku,
you
Muku,
get in the
Maku,
Cave
Maku,
of Wind.
Miku, Miku, Moku, Moku.
I know where to get all
Maku,
those squirrels.
Maku.
All the squirrels.
Dude, I had all the squirrels.
Rainbow attack.
Yeah, man. Just killing people. It's all about that cooking game.
Cool thing about Mazis is that he comes preloaded with a maxed out fire rune and a lightning rune, so you can do Burning Camp like right off the bat. Like Blazing Camp. What other combo? You can so many combos.
Can we talk about the pleasant surprise of finding out that Necklord was in that game?
I know. I thought you killed Necklord in Suikoden 1, and he comes back in Suikoden 2 with the most epic entrance, where he's playing the cathedral organ. And they smile. Oh, 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 oh.
Necklord, what a good name.
It's crazy that they called him Necklord because of like necrotic, like Necronomicon, that use of neck, but they didn't think about the fact that he's a vampire that bites necks.
They
Like
had
that
to.
it never occurred to them that that's what people were going to read it as.
That's the only thing I thought of when I was a kid.
Exactly. I know people have probably asked many times, but I'm wondering if there is a way to buy the first Steve book now or later. I missed it on the Kickstarter. Yeah, we made a mailing list for when the second wave of that book comes out. They're going to come out alongside book two later this year. I'll link to the mailing list in the chat. If you sign up for it, we're not going to send like spam or updates or anything. We're only going to send it out when the book is available. It's there strictly for like product related stuff.
Yeah, so you can just go to stevelichman.com and put your email address in the top part there, where there's the little box, and then you'll be a part of the mailing list.
Yeah.
Favorite game, if you guys have time to be playing any? Just like probably anything, right? Yeah. What's your
Yeah.
favorite game, Dan?
My favorite game
Period.
ever?
Yes.
Final Fantasy VI.
Really? Ever?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's a toss up between like 6, 7, and 9.
Like, okay, but right now, like without nostalgia, like what would, I mean, not that it's like bad, but I'm saying that, you know, the stories suck and stuff like that. They're not like amazing things.
No, man, story doesn't suck in 6.
Well, I'm just saying,
But story.
like if you could look, like right now, without the history, what would be your favorite?
My favorite game or game story?
I don't know, both.
Okay. Jeez. I mean, my favorite game is probably Bloodborne.
Cool.
Probably, based on how many hours I've played it and like overall satisfaction. Like the story in Bloodborne's great. The visuals are the best I've ever seen. Best art direction in any game, period, bar none, ever, to me. Combat's great, level design's great, the multiplayer's great. Soundtrack is insanely good. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably my favorite.
Okay.
In terms of like all time, I mean, Final Fantasy VI is probably always gonna be my favorite.
Suikoden
It's
2
like-
is my favorite RPG. Definitely.
Suikoden 2 is like it's a better game, like in terms of the stuff you can do and like the fighting and all that. It's just I played 6 when I was 12 and it's amazing.
Yeah. I like Final Fantasy 9 a lot.
Nine's
But my favorite
Suikoden
game-
2 is such a good game. I'm so mad Konami owns it and there's never gonna be another one.
I'm trying to think of just like game in the sense of just game. I think right now it'd be Tetris Attack.
In terms of the most fun I've had playing a game, it's probably that fencing game that me and you played for like 8 hours.
Oh right, yeah. What was that game called? Nidhogg?
Yeah, that was in terms of just pure fun. Like this is a game and you're having fun. That was super good.
Yeah. I'm big into like, I don't know, Link to the Past is one of the big ones.
Right.
And then probably like games I played a lot. Double Dragon. I played it shitload. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know. There's too many good content. Like Streets of Rage 2
Mm,
is like a perfect game. There's so many perfect games. It's hard to pick which one's my favorite.
Shadow or Mystara. Super
Yeah.
good.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts is fun if you can get past level 3. That game's so hard. So hard. That game is the biggest fuck you ever. You beat the whole game and then it says you have to go back and beat the whole thing again with the fucking princess ring or whatever it's called. Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff. I don't know. Hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah, I don't know if I really have one.
Yeah. In terms of like what probably left the most influence, it's probably like the original Zelda.
Hmm.
But yeah. questions we got?
I don't know. I'm
Did
just
we like
kidding.
the Force? Did we like the Force Awakens? Yeah, we both liked it. I think we both kind of agreed that it was not as memorable. It wasn't as memorable as the old ones, just because it recycled so many of the original ideas. Like, there was really cool stuff in it that I loved, but there was a lot of like. It felt like all three of the previous movies boiled down into one movie. Like, there's an ice planet, a desert planet. We got this, we got that. We got like a weird bounty hunter character with a cape and a helmet. We got like the Darth Vader guys there. We've got a Death Star weapon. We've got X-wings. We've got Tie fighters. We've got Millennium Falcon. Like there wasn't anything like wholly original in it. Where I was like, I've never seen that before. Like
Yeah,
I'm,
I didn't
I'm
like it the way I liked the other ones.
right. It didn't bring like anything dramatically new to it. I really liked it a lot as a movie, and I like almost everything J.J. Abrams has done in terms of you're watching a movie and it's like entertaining. But like, I didn't see any new stuff. Like Maz Kanata was basically just Yoda. Like, we need a little green person who's going to know things about the Force. Like, because that was popular. We need, a forest scene. We need an ice scene. We need. It just felt like every single thing from the first trilogy.
Yeah, I just didn't care for Maz Kanata. It was like that took me out of the movie a bit because I was like, whoa, everything
Yeah.
else looks so cool, and this didn't look cool to
That
me.
was, I still don't understand why they made her CG
Yeah, that was
because
really weird.
that really like instantly my connection with what was going on in the story was I was just thrown out of it because like she looked so like cartoony compared to everything else. Like I really loved in the beginning that practical puppet they did of the little dude riding on the four-legged like robot like ox thing, and
Yeah,
he's like trying to catch the droid with his net. Like that, like I remember that more than Maz. Like that was way cooler. But
yeah. I
yeah,
think that I don't know. It reminded me of like the Ninja Turtles CG
yeah.
on Maz Kanata, like that weird, like not quite real. I don't know. It's just
Anything
not
with
really that great.
it feels like anything that has lips and eyes you shouldn't really rely on CG for next to real people. If everything in the frame is animated, that's fine. But if you're sitting at a table with like four real humans and then someone with animated lips, it just stands. It's we're not there yet. The 3D's not. It doesn't look believable.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think that part was very successful.
But overall, I loved them. I mean, I liked the movie a lot. Great
Yeah,
music, great costumes, good story. I liked Kylo Ren a lot. I like what they did with him, where like he's not super badass when the helmet comes off. That was cool.
yeah. I like that he's just some like spoiled kid.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was really
cool.
good. I loved all the fake outs they did where they knew fans would be pissed and then they reversed it. Like when you first see Snoke, he's like a giant on a throne, and I was like, oh, that's so stupid. And then you find out it's a projection and it shrinks, and I'm like, oh, okay, they got me. Right. I really liked the weird theming they did with the story. Like that was probably my favorite part of the movie. Is like it's about a person discovering Star Wars for the first time. Like Rey's on a planet where all the old stuff from the old trilogy is there, but it's almost like toys in someone's basement. Like like going through it. She's a fan of it. She's heard stories about it.
Mm-hmm.
She knows who Luke is, kind of. It's sort of like the intention of this movie was for people that grew up with it to bring their kids and see a new envisioning of it. Like it's Star Wars for a new generation. And the fact that they found a way to naturally write that into the script, I think, is like brilliant.
Yeah,
The
I
fact that
like that too.
it was so smart to do it that way. Like it's about a girl figuring it out the same way someone watching it would figure it out. Like that's really cool.
Yeah, I like the fandom part of it.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Kylo too. Like he's a fan. He's like fanboy of the dark side, Darth Vader stuff. Like I don't know. It was really cool. They found a way to write that into the script in a way that was natural and like made sense and was actually like, oh, of course. Like people would tell stories about that 30 years later.
The only funny thing is that it's like it's all true. It's like, what do you mean that happened like
Yeah.
not that long ago? What do you mean it's all true? Of course it's true. It's
Yeah.
like asking me if the 80s happened. Yes,
Right.
the 80s did happen. It
Yes,
wasn't that long ago.
The 80s happened. Yeah, I'm really. I love that. The one thing I love that J.J. Abrams figured out, I'm assuming because he's a huge fan of the original movies, they did the thing that I was hoping they would do. So it's the one thing I thought they were going to miss, and then they did it, is panning shots of super cool stuff the camera never focuses on. It's that feeling when you see Jedi for the first time and you're in Jabba's palace and the camera goes by and there's like 30 monsters in the frame that it just goes past that are all super cool looking, but it never stops on them. And you like, when you're a kid, you like rewind the tape and you're like, what was that? That looks so cool. What was that thing in the background?
And then
Like-
your imagination fills in all the blanks.
Exactly. And they did that twice in that movie and I loved it. The first one was at Maz's thing when it goes past and like, I came home and I was like, who is the red guy? Who is the red guy with the super cool mask in the background who was like sitting at a table playing cards? Like, who was the chubby guy who was leaning up against the wall with like the weird like Harlequin girl resting in his lap? I was like, they look so cool, but the camera did not stop on them, so I couldn't like appreciate it long enough. They did that, and then in like Rey's flashback, they showed the other knights who weren't Kylo, who had way cooler costumes. And I was like, whoa, I want to see more of that. Those dudes look rad. And then they never went back.
I had none of those thoughts.
Well, it's-
And why do you draw fantasy stuff? You nerd.
I'm not the one drawing.
Huh?
I'm not the one penning.
What are you talking about?
Or they like what you decided to do with the boobs, where they're like opening up.
Yeah, they're like eggs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it's like pushing him out of his chest.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Some eggs.
Comment in the chat. I think the only one doing well with the face and lips in CG is the team working with James Cameron. Maybe it's unslip, but I really enjoyed the robots and Transformers. Yeah, that's the thing, is that in Avatar, there's not that many scenes where, you know, the blue people are in frame with humans talking to them. There's scenes that are entirely CG where it's blue people talking to blue people.
Yeah.
There's scenes where humans are talking to humans, and one or two scenes where a human talks to them. And the reason they get around it in the script is because they say the atmosphere isn't hospitable to humans, they can't breathe, so there wouldn't be any way for them to talk to humans face to face. That was a very clever way of making sure that none of the scenes would be together, because James Cameron definitely knows that if you put a CG character next to a human character, it's going to break the shot in a very real way and make it look cartoony. So he found a way in the script to get around it by saying, oh, humans can't survive in their atmosphere and they can't survive in human atmosphere, so they're never going to be side by side. So we can limit that in a natural way. One or two scenes and that's about it. So the animated scenes look great because there's no humans in them to make them not look great. And the human scenes look great because there's no animated things in them to make them not look great. That being said, the entire movie fell apart for me when a guy in a robot suit held a knife in a hand.
Are you kidding me? That was the only part I liked.
Well, I laughed at it. I thought it was hilarious, but I was
Yeah.
like, why would you have to hold a knife?
That was
I
like
would-
the scene where I get up and I go, ah!
Yeah, yeah. I was like, that's so funny to me and impractical that I love it, but it also just totally made the whole thing so silly.
Well, I already didn't like the movie. And when that
Yeah, I mean,
happened,
it
I
was
was
just-
like, hell yeah.
It was just and Pocahontas.
It's like, fucking yeah, dude. With the knife.
But no, yeah, it's important to realize that even James Cameron knew that it would look like shit if they were in the same frame at the same time, so he found a way to not do that in the script with the atmosphere. So that was very intentional. He didn't just do that. That was a very intentional way to make sure he didn't have to put them in frame.
Yeah, smart. Super smart.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird that I want to know more about that red guy from Force Awakens than anything that has to do with Maz Kanata.
Master Canada.
Yeah, Master Asia, greatest
Master
name.
Asia.
Master Asia,
Love.
love Hadouken. Oh God.
Huge nerds.
Yeah. G Gundam was so bad.
Nerds. That goddamn show had some amazing music though.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, all those like, what was the period of like
The
when they
90s orchestra or like late 80s orchestra, everything.
Yeah. When did that begin and when did that end? That anime series had amazing orchestra music.
I think it ended with nobody's watching anime.
Yeah,
No, there's no money for anime, so done.
it's crazy to me that a show like G Gundam, they were like, you know what? Let's get a Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah,
It's
that
weird
shit.
that they could market entire series of shows based on one moment that was in every episode. They did that with Pokemon too, where they were like, the animation's not going to be great, and the scripts will be whatever, but at some point in the episode, Ash is going to turn his hat backwards and throw a Pokeball, and orchestra music's going to turn up super loud and crescendo. And they did the same thing in G Gundam, where the episode's going to be whatever, the script's going to be whatever, but at some point, Domon's going to go into his repeated thing where the suit forms on his body and the orchestra music flares up and it zooms out and shows the robot.
And they did
like
that in
that-
everything. Power Rangers with the
Exactly.
sword.
If you have one repeated sequence that's super cool, you can get a whole series.
You gotta get everybody on board. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like I know this is gonna happen. I know it's definitely gonna happen. That's what I'm waiting for.
It's morphin time.
Well, that's what people have forgotten. It's
Yeah.
like, you can get away with that. It's like a catchphrase. Like somebody funny just saying a catchphrase, like that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bad example of it. That's not actually cool. But like, I don't know. It's the same reason I used to wait for cutscenes in PlayStation 1 games. I was working for them cutscenes, and now
That's
they're everywhere, and I don't care.
That's a really good way to put it, actually. Yeah,
Now they don't have any weight to them.
right. The CG looks too much like the gameplay, so who cares?
Or when I was playing like a game and like there'd be an anime sequence, suddenly I was like,
Right.
what?
Whoa, this is nuts.
This game has anime. Hell
I
yeah.
have a save file before Eris dies, so I can rewatch it.
Exactly that.
Yeah, I've got a save file before the weapons wake up and Sephiroth blows up the North Crater, because it's my favorite FMV.
Dan, please, I'm waiting for Final Fantasy VII to come out. Don't spoil it for me. It's not out yet. I'm waiting for the the ATB.
You're waiting for part 1 of 5?
Yeah, I'm waiting to spend $60 5 times
Yeah, you're waiting to buy a $300 game in installments?
and have it not be as good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I want to play as a
Are
boy
we
band.
gonna go- Are we going to go on this tangent? Oh,
We don't have to.
I don't
I
want
just hate the world. I'd rather have like a regular game
Right.
that
Just
doesn't look super great.
Just give me a game.
Yeah. I don't care if it has next gen graphics.
Yeah, give me a PS3 version of it and make it a complete game. I really don't care.
Yeah, it's weird how that works now. I just like, I don't want it.
Would I kill for a girl like Eris? I mean,
Yes.
I don't know.
Kill for a girl like that.
I was on Team Tifa, but hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't even love Eris. It's just
Whoa,
his.
Dan. Hey, shut up. You want to get banned?
It's his shared memory confusion with Zoc. I know my lore. Wants to talk about lore.
Yeah, let's do it. Like any lore or just Final Fantasy?
Any lore.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Let's talk about some
Go ahead.
Age of Empires lore. Just regular history.
You found one I know nothing about.
The real world.
I'll tell you what I did learn about
I
Age
don't
of
know
Empires.
any lore about America. Is that what you're
I
telling
learned
me?
some Age of Empires lore.
Yeah, what about the Ottoman Empire? I learned that the Ottoman Empire had control of the Benghazi space.
Whoa.
But Tripoli became the one that had all the money, and they kind of abandoned everything in Benghazi, so the Benghazi consistently fell apart forever.
I
And then when
learned.
Gaddafi became in power,
Here we go.
sorry, I'm reading a book about Benghazi.
Go ahead.
What up? Now you can go on. What were you gonna say?
I didn't learn. Well, I didn't know that Brutus was maybe Caesar's son.
Pretty cool.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that Caesar was having an affair with Brutus's mom, and that Brutus might have actually been like a love child of theirs, and he treated Brutus like a son and raised him. I didn't know that they had any actual history before Julius Caesar was like murdered. I thought I thought Brutus was just a senator. I didn't realize that they were like family.
Hmm.
I'm reading all this stuff about Rome now, in Egypt, and all this other stuff, but like I had no idea that they were like family members. That's as far as my Age of Empires lore goes.
Pretty cool.
That's all. There you go.
Dude, that's some good lore. Some really good lore.
I think you need to free transform those boobs, make them a little bigger.
No, I don't like lewd things. I don't know if you know that word.
The one on the left looks considerably smaller.
Did you know that if you take rude and you put an L there, it means the same thing?
That's a good point, actually. A very good point.
Get rid of one of those words.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Can't have them both.
Anyone wanted us to like talk about specific lore? If anyone wants us to like discuss some serious lore from your favorite franchise
And
and or
warheads. Want to talk about dragon language? Do that all day.
yeah, I could talk about dragon language.
Do you know that that's based on a mix of Arabic and... Don't laugh at me. I heard that giggle. And Italiano.
I didn't know it was Italiano. I knew it was Arabic.
Yeah, Frischka Borde. It's dragon speak for get out.
Yeah.
I never played it. I only learned a couple dragon words.
Dragon speech is the one thing that will get me checked out of a franchise faster than anything. Like nothing will make me stop playing a game faster than a dragon with like a lizard anatomy mouthing human speech going like Arshkatun. I'm done. I'm out. That's the lamest fucking thing ever. Number one, you got two stages of lame. They can work on their own. They can't work together. That's what I figured out about dragon language. If a dragon just speaks English to the character, like in The Hobbit, in like a fairy tale setting, I'm fine with it. If a dragon speaks their own language that sounds like guttural, weird beast noises, I'm fine with it. A dragon articulating stuff a human would say in a human way, worst thing ever. It's the combination of the made-up language and needing it to be human.
What are you talking about, dude?
Can't do it. Dragons reading books, can't do that.
Dude, dragons reading books. Can we talk about that? Because that's something I'm into.
Can we talk about how that was the greatest quiz on the Onion I've probably ever seen? Was which dragon are you? It better not be Parthax or whatever it was. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, that was really good.
I loved that. Better not be Parthax.
Onion's been on a roll with those articles for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I could not do like dragons yelling at you in Skyrim while you fight them with a sword. Like, I could not.
Can you do, fucking Sega CD? Some Sega CD Lunar?
What about Lunar?
The dragon.
Oh, oh, Alex. Oh,
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Alex, I didn't see you there.
Can we?
The worst voice.
Can I play that, and will we get like banned if I play it?
I can play it. That way you don't have to show it on your. It's Twitch. You can.
No,
play
I'll play it. Okay, what is it? Lunar what?
It's Lunar, whatever, Galleon and Quark.
Galleon, Quark, and
Galleon
basic C++.
Yeah, Galleon confronts Quark or whatever. It's unbelievable.
There it is.
Yes, dear Quark. Things are changing again.
Let's get to this cool.
Maybe my favorite voice.
So, Alex, you've returned.
Don't.
You brought another friend with you. Wait, Galleon, is that you? I haven't seen you since we lost Dime.
Yes, dear Quark. And if not for you, he would still be alive. A part of me died that black day.
Throw it
Part
up.
of me died that black day.
I can't
Now,
hear
dear
it.
friend, things
I know.
are changing again.
Okay.
Again.
I'll soon rule the world.
Things are changing
But first,
again.
you have to die.
Need to hear him die.
And you hear him run away.
Now
Goes,
that that's taken care of, only the goddess Althena stands in my way. Soon, the whole world will be mine!
Listen carefully.
Go ahead. Play it for the audience.
Has become a dragon master now. You see, once I am gone, the goddess will be vulnerable to attack from Galleon. Then
Attack from Galleon. Oh, that's my favorite.
Still waiting.
You won't be able to hear it, though.
Oh, they can hear it and I can't because of Twitch, right?
Yeah. So they got to enjoy it.
Gonna be thinking about that all night now. Gonna need a fix. Gonna need a fix before I go to bed.
It's from Lunar, the Silver Star, on Sega CD.
Yep. Don't even
What are you
play
saying Silver Star Story? No.
the Silver Star story during that cutscene, which is fully animated, by the way. Leon reveals that he's the Magic Emperor. Not in the original.
Yeah, super cool.
Dave had the pendant.
Yeah, I did. In the
The
cloth map
games.
or whatever.
The second game. Yeah.
All about those cloth maps. I feel like I'm in the world.
Give out a cloth map for the second Steve book.
Yeah.
Exactly. No match for my Gloom Fairies. Exactly. I'm so glad someone else knows that. The Shattered Amulet of the Red Warlock.
Right. Well, look at this ollie I did with breaths.
Pretty good, man.
It exists.
Are you gonna call it? Are you gonna call it chicken breasts?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many chicken puns. Chicken shit.
I know.
Then there's obviously all the girls, the chick ones.
Hmm.
A chick with tits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Well,
Alright. Probably we gonna
Yep.
get off of here now?
Anyone have any closing questions before we leave? I give it 20 seconds for the delay.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us edit an audiobook for half of this and then talk about nothing.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for hanging out.
It's been real.
Yeah, we'll be back around, and we'll probably be more interactive.
I'm probably going to edit some audiobook on here without Dave just because it's hard to talk and do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow I'll do some.
Wow. I don't know.
I'm waiting
It's
for
good
waiting for the delay.
Oh, okay.
See if anyone wants us to say anything before we go. All right.
No, I think we're good.
All right.
Do you have any questions?
I mean, why do you think you can get away with this stuff?
Get away with what?
I don't know, painting these things and putting them out there.
I don't know.
Like, I guess the real question is, like, where do you get off? Who do you
Right
think?
here in this chair all the time.
I was hoping you'd go for it. I thought it might be too low hanging, but hey.
It's definitely hanging low, but
Yeah, it was very
I'm
low.
hungry.
I was bending that branch,
Want that fruit.
tilting it for you.
Mhm.
Bye, everybody. I'll be back later this week, tomorrow, and other days, recording, not recording, but editing.
Yeah, and I'll paint again probably in the future. And my tutorial thing is going to be coming out in the next couple days. I'll post that up on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. But you can follow me on Twitter at Dave Rapoza and Dan at DanielWarren86. And you can subscribe to the Steve Lichman newsletter at stevelichman.com at the top of the page. If you missed out on book 1 and you want to get book 1 and book 2 when it comes out later this year, we're going to have the Kickstarter where you can pre-order and then it'll ship the following, like, spring, early summer. But
Yeah.
yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. We really appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, YouTube. This is a secret part only for you. Goodbye,
Secret-
YouTube.
secret.
Bye.